it would not let me use the live that I created, so I had to start a whole new one. So I hope that you guys make your way to this stream. Never had it do that. Hope you guys are having a good day. Let me know when you get here. Let's get this mic on. Maybe that will help the sound when you arrive so that I can find out if everybody can see and hear okay. And I'm just double checking to be sure it looks good on my end. Send this, please do, because it looks like we're going to have trouble getting people here. But let's go ahead. I have a little order for a nightlight, and I want to do it together with you guys because they are so fun to make and really good for gifts. And while last week was our Christmas in July, it kind of got me thinking. And this is a new little nightlight I purchased. I actually purchased this, but it was on sale, so I got it, but I didn't realize how small it was. I wasn't looking at the measurements. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. I think it's super cute and I like the small size of it for certain things. So we're going to use it and see how we like it. But that's the first thing I do is usually clean it with alcohol. And so let's clean both of these. This is my messenger maybe, if everything is good, because it is definitely just sitting here. Oh, now I can see. It was just completely frozen. Hi, Tina. Okay, so looks like we're good. I'm going to go ahead and make my little kind of square so I don't get outside of what y'all can see. I'm not going to be able to see comments, but go ahead and leave them, and I will surely be able to once this is over. So it's just weird not being able to see you guys commenting. But like I said, I love to show how to do these, and I've taught these in my private group, but it's been a long time, so I'm going to go ahead and teach them here on the main YouTube page and let you guys in on what we know how to do because they're so fun. So when you're new at this, I would take some painter's tape and tape kind of all around where you don't want resin to go. I don't tape them anymore, but that's because I've done a whole lot of these. I've probably done 50 over the last year and a half or so. But I'm going to take this and just tape right along the back and then kind of press it down. Just press it down. And then we'll do the same thing here on the front. So you're just getting it right up to that plastic piece. And then just press it down. I don't really press it too hard because I want it to come off tomorrow. I don't want to have an issue. And then if you are new at this, I would go ahead and take a couple of small pieces and do the sides. So I'm just kind of coming, hopefully you can see this, but I'm coming underneath this plastic and taping the nightlight. That way, if any resin kind of runs and gets around, it's not going to go inside. It's going to just stay on our tape, and we can peel this tape off in the morning. Just put some gloves on in the morning when you take the tape off so that you don't mess anything up, and you're just going to pull the tape. You can add a little bit of light heat with your heat gun if you need to help pull that tape up. If you leave the tape on very long, it will get harder to take up. So go ahead and do it in the morning or after about 12 hours. Let's see, this one is made differently, as you can see. So this one actually may be easier to do. I'm going to put a piece here, right up. If I can get it as close as I can. We had a great Christmas in July week last week. And if you were not here, I'm going to try to get those videos up on YouTube as soon as I can. I worked on them today, but there's a lot of editing to do. And so you can always go to Facebook and see them. We did a lot. We had a lot of variety. We did mixed media. We did some painting. We did a little bit of resin and glass and what else? Felt and, you know, crafts. So there's kind of something for everybody to get you started thinking about Christmas gifts or Christmas fairs and crafts if you sell things online or in person. So anyway, you can see we're just taping because I'm pretending that I've never done this, and that's what I would do. Tape all of it so that any resin drips won't ruin your nightlight. So now we've got our two surfaces. I did already clean them with alcohol, so they're ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and mix up my resin. So let's put on some gloves. I'm going to get out of this one more time and just, actually, maybe I'll go to another, let's see if I can go to another internet browser and see if that helps. That would be fun if that worked. Ooh, it says I'm live. See, maybe this will work. It does work. Oh, good. I think I can see your comments over here. Woohoo, we're in business. Hello, Marcia, Vicky, Carolyn, Brenda, Marcia, Tina, Mary, Sherry. I'm so glad y'all are here. Thank you for sprinkling. Hi, Debbie. Oh, awesome. I feel better now. I can see some comments. Okay, so we're going to get our resin mixed up. You don't need much for these, about 1/4 of an ounce. So just the tiniest bit is what I will mix up for one. And sometimes I don't even use quite all of that. It just depends on what it is, but you don't really need it running over the sides. So I just mix up a small amount. I'm going to do, so I'll do 1/2 ounce for both of these. I'm going to pour my hardener, and I cannot see, of course, these little lines in my bad eyes. So I'm going to make my marks right there and right there. I use art resin, and most of my resin tutorials that you will see here on my page, I do go into quite a bit of detail about art resin and about the safety and everything. And then once I use one, I put the lid on and put it kind of far away. That way, if I get interrupted, I know which one I just poured. And then we will add, and I went over just a touch. So I'm going to go over just a touch on the resin. And that should make it even. But if you will be real careful to stay right on your lines, you'll have the best possible outcome. I've been doing this for a few years, so I can kind of go over a little bit, and I know if I went over on one and I go over the same amount on the other, it will be good. But I tell you what, having even amounts will really help you have a good outcome. We're going to set a timer for 3 minutes, and then we can chit-chat while we're stirring. All right. I can't tell. This is still not quite right because it doesn't let me leave a comment. And I can't tell what the latest comment was. Are y'all having any issues or any glitching? Let me know. Hi, Jackie. See, Jackie Cameron is the last comment I see. So does that mean literally that was the last? But it doesn't give me the option to comment. Not sure. Probably because I'm not signed in on this browser. But anyway, we're going to stir slow and easy just like we do if we were doing a painting. And I am going to paint on these, but I'm going to go ahead and mix these up first and let them sit. Because as they sit, they're going to get a little thicker, or it's going to get a little thicker. And that's what I want. Sometimes I will mix these up and wait even as long as 20 minutes to get started. Hey, Mary. Okay, good. Thank you. I think I'm not able to make a comment because I'm not signed in under this browser I'm on, so that's fine. At least I can see yours. And every so often I'm scraping my stick and getting it mixed back down there. Working good. Okay, good. No glitching and things. Okay. And we've got the nice horizontal over here, which I love. All right, so that's it. You're just kind of getting these two mixed together. Slow and easy is always best when it comes to resin. Don't do it. Sometimes if I go too fast, I do notice a lot of extra bubbles. So I try to remind myself to calm down and just take your time, because 3 minutes is not that long. We don't have to rush. Marsha, I think you're the #1 engaged follower on this channel. At least it's showing a little crown and a #1, and I'm guessing that's what it's for. So thank you. Appreciate all of you guys being here. And be sure, if you haven't subscribed, that you do if you enjoy the content that's on this channel. And leave me a comment. Let me know what else you'd like to see. I'm always open for ideas. I know, do you not see that, Marsha? Maybe that just shows, well, I don't know. I would think anybody would be able to see it. See, and Sherry's #2 and Brenda's #3. How interesting. Now, it could mean that y'all are channel members, and that could be the date, by the date you joined. I don't know. So every so often, see how I'm getting that off of my little stick and back down into the mix. And our timer is off. Went off. So I'm just going to set this to the side while we work on our design. As long as I don't have any resin on me, I'm good. So I did pull some pieces of china that I had left from a plate or cup that I broke and have been using on different designs. So I think I'm going to use this on maybe one, and I pulled these for another, but I'm going to try painting. I don't know if either one of these will take paint well, so we're going to try it together. And here's the trick, is that if they don't, we can just take our alcohol and wipe it off. So you're not losing anything by giving it a try, you know? So let's put out a little bit of paint. Crowns are for comments. Who's commenting the most? Okay. Thanks, Laveda. You're such a pro. You know everything. Tina's talk. Oh, how funny. So it can switch while we're live. Oh, I like that. Maybe I should start doing like a little giveaway at the end of the live or something. I love doing stuff like that. I love, you know, making things fun. I just pulled my favorite colors and thought I would do some pretty flowers or something just to kind of test this out and to show you guys some simple ideas. So we'll grab a small brush. You do not even need, you know, like a tracer for this, because we're talking, what, 3 by 3 or something? Let me see if I had my... Yeah, 3 inches. I know it's going to be by 3. Yeah. This one's probably 2. Yep. By 2.5 is my guess. 2 by 2.5 or so. So yeah, we'll just do a couple of, you know, easy designs on here to kind of get us going. I'm going to take my green and blue on the brush, and we're going to make like a little, let's do it this way for interest. I was going to do like a vase. Ooh, no, I know what I'll do. I'll do a vase over to this side and then have it kind of drape over. See, it is letting me take the paint, or it is taking the paint. Wasn't sure how it would do on this plastic, but this may be a neat thing to do. So just think how if you were at an event, like an in-person little craft fair, and y'all are slow, you could sit and paint some of these, and people would be so of course, the only problem with that is then they'll go home and just do it. They won't buy yours. Some people won't. But, you know, to fill your time, it'd be kind of fun to do some live. You could say, you know, at 12 o'clock, I'm going to paint some live, so be sure and come back and see me here. Something. So we'll make a little vase here, and then some flowers. I'm going to, can y'all see my palette? I'm gonna just take some random colors, pink and white, and do some what I call Deb flowers. So like a large pink and maybe one here. Let's do some kind of falling down. And then we'll put some other flowers kind of in between. Hi, Sydney. Glad you came. So glad everybody is joining us live. It's so much fun for me to look up and see comments. Oh, I love it. So much better than just, you know, painting by yourself or something. So we'll put in some little yellow flowers. We could even make a bud like this from some. They don't have to. Let's just make all of our yellow ones kind of be little yellow buds like that. They haven't quite bloomed yet. This is already drying. I don't know if y'all can see that, but we did pretty thin coat. And so that vase is already drying. I'm going to come in with some green. And we will just do some random greenery. Now this is one that I think my mom would have loved. Having a painted nightlight, you know. So this is a really good idea. I've never done just a painted one like this. And I think I'll add some beads and things, but you could totally customize this. So if you've got a child or a grandchild that goes to a certain school, you know, you could paint their little mascot on here. Or if you want to give this to maybe your mom or mother-in-law or daughter-in-law, you know, paint something that would match their decor. You could really do a lot with this. And take some green and mix with yellow. And then add a little white. Thanks, Sherry. Well, I just thought this would be nice and easy. And I needed to do a nightlight. So I thought I'm just going to go ahead and try painting on these. I already like it. I think just like that would be really pretty lit up. So I did forget to plug this in. I will have to plug it in before I put resin because there is no use resining if it's not, you know, a good nightlight. And I always check them to be sure there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just kind of putting some swipes of our blue. And then a couple of swipes of green in here in the mix. Let's make it look kind of special there instead of just a solid color. Did y'all hear Blue? She's right outside my door. She had to go to a little vet today and get her nails cut. And she was so excited because Ron mentioned a pup cup. He should not have mentioned it until after the appointment because she thought she was getting one, like that's what she thought she was going for. And what he was telling me was after her appointment, he was going to get her one. So she was raring to go. And he said when they pulled in, she was like, oh no, this is not the place for pup cups. We go to Sonic for that, and it's just a little whipped cream, just a little miniature cup. Let's do white and yellow. Do a little highlight on our flowers here. Don't want to add too much paint because I'm going to want this to dry pretty quick. And then I'll come back in with just a little white and even do a little extra. Thank you, Debbie. Hi, Helen. Good to see you. I really enjoy being live. Last week was hard because I was live every day, but it was so good. I just enjoyed it so much. And a lot of you guys were there, and that's always great to have y'all live. So it really energized me. I'm gonna set this aside and go to the next one. So while I'm doing this one, we'll just let that dry. And this one, I was thinking about doing a sunflower. Let's pull out a little brown. And honestly, what I was thinking on this one was I have all of these little elements. These are actually petals, but you can definitely use them. Oh, that's cute. You can use them as, you know, that can be your design. You don't have to paint anything. You could just put down what you have. So this is just little small pieces of cut glass. I bought it this way. I do cut my own glass, but when it gets to be small like this, it's nice if you can find it already cut. So I did, and I bought it, but I'll still say I prefer to cut my own. That's kind of cute. I don't mind it. And then you could just put your center. We would do all this with our resin. Let's see. I kind of like that. Let me think. I even have some green. I wonder if the green would look good with that. Get some out. See, that could be your leaves. That's actually kind of cute. What do y'all think? Let me know. What do you think of this one? I don't know how many leaves we would need. Maybe just a couple. That's amazing, Tina. I'm so glad you did. Thank you. Mary, I have put these on our supply list on all the ones I've done before, but I'll make you a supply list and put them on there again today. But I just get these on Amazon. Do y'all like the sunflower one like this? I do too. I think it's cute. Okay, let's just do this. I'm going to take this off because I put the resin first. And let's come back and dry this so that we can add just a little bit more. Don't hold it too close or your paint could bubble, and just get it dry. I think this one's going to be pretty. I wanted to use this china, and I think I just kind of gravitated toward the colors that are in it, as you can see. So for my paints, I'm using all the colors that are in it. It's better on things like this to have a few thin coats rather than do it too thick, because then you just have to sit and wait for it to dry. So I'm just coming back with some of our dark pink, or royal fuchsia. Is that what it's called? Yeah, royal fuchsia. I had to think. I have been haven't really been painting in about a week, so I had to think. And I like having, you know, like we'll leave one dark without a lot of white in it. And then I'm going to put a little yellow in one. Kind of pulls it all together. Yes, Tina, I've done a lot of Christmas ones. In fact, I have a tub back here behind me that is full. I've got a bunch to put in my Etsy shop for this year. Okay, so let's just take a few swipes of our blue. Now that that other coat's dry, I'm even going to mix a little bit of white with this and lighten it up a little. And just put a few swipes. That gives your vase some interest. Little highlights. Taking green and blue. Got a little bit of this on our leaves. And then I'll come back with some yellow again. And then a little white. And before you know it, you've got a little painting. Thank you, Marcia. Y'all see that fairly well. And I add a little bit more on our yellow. I think this is going to be really pretty lit up. I can't believe I've never done any painted ones. Okay, let's try that. This would go perfectly in the room that I'm in. In fact, I probably need to make one for this room, because sometimes I walk in here and I'm tripping over something. Yes, I know. I'll have to show y'all that tomorrow. I am going to test this real quick. So let's just test it and be sure. I guess I could show y'all that if I'm careful. Hold these. Oh, I bet it won't light up with all these lights on. It will not. Even with me covering that, it's not going to come on. Oh, well, can you see right there by the tape when I move my hand? At least we know the light works. So the light is coming on. It's just way too bright to see. So we know that one works. I'm going to test this one too. And yeah, can y'all see that light come on? It's hard, but there it is. That's the main thing I do. Always check them before you resin, because you never know. So I was gonna put some of this on here and I can cut it up and put, but I honestly like it just painted, I think. And maybe save this for another time. Or I could take pieces of this and make little flowers with it. So let's just see how that would look. Sometimes I take these little cups. In fact, this is what I use to prop them up on, like this, when I pour the resin. So I'm just gonna set this here. Let me put on my little safety goggles anytime you cut glass. I am not going to put on my safety gloves, although they are handy, but I'm just going to put, I've got these gloves that I have on, and I'm going to just cut a little piece. Let me see if I can find maybe a little pretty piece to kind of, maybe I'll make a little flower or something. So let me cut a little square. I'm just putting my nippers down and cutting, and then I'll do it again, put the nippers down and cut to get a little square, and from that I can kind of make it into a circle by cutting off all the corners. I don't know if I'm even going to like this on here, but we might as well try. I do all of my glass cutting. I mean, you really won't see me do more than this on a live because it does take time. You really need to do it over like a plastic bin to catch all these little pieces. So you won't see me cutting glass usually on here, but for something like this, it's not enough to really worry about. But that's one of my favorite things to do. So if you want to learn how to cut glass and use resin and all the things, then you would probably love my little art membership. We are I'm so excited. I couldn't even believe it. It just didn't even dawn on me that we're about to be in August and it's our 5th anniversary for that private group. I've been on Facebook a little bit longer than that, but I knew that I needed to find a way to bring women together, and I tried doing some events to try to help that, but once event's over, everybody scatters again, and so I thought of the private membership thing and did a little research, and the next thing you know, here we are. And it's been 5 years. So there's a little round we could use as like a little extra flower if we wanted to. I would probably want to cut a couple more, I think. Y'all have to let me know what you think. You can also add some of these on top of your leaves if you want. But honestly, I don't know. I kind of like it just painted. But y'all let me know. Hi, Joan. Y'all let me know. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I think I'm going to leave the leaves off for sure and just let the painting be here. What do we think if we added a few of those? Do we like the little rounds or no? I might cut another one until I can see what y'all say. And we could even add a few beads in the center. Now that might be pretty too, to add just a few little beads in the center of these. Yeah, so like don't take away from the painting, but yet a few little beads might be okay. We're gonna try and see. See, that looks kind of sweet, just having a few little beads. I kind of like that. Yeah. Okay, I do too. I think just this for this one, for sure. Y'all are with me. We're on the same page. So honestly, this one's pretty much good to go, other than I think I might edge it. So you can, excuse me, edge it with a gold marker. You can use Posca pens if you have, you know, this is just acrylic paint in a marker. So you could use one of those, you know, like the pink, although this is a pretty neon pink, so I probably won't. I'm going to just try edging it with pink or blue. Let's just take a look and see what we think. You have to kind of picture it. Picture that blue along the edge, or picture the pink along the edge. Either one of those would be pretty. I'm not sure. Either one. What do y'all think? Tina said, are you saying blue to this? I'm going to use a little sponge because of my gloves. Sometimes I just use my fingers. But yes, Mary, I agree. I think blue would be pretty. And I'm normally pink, but I think pulling in that vase color. So see, just a little bit along the edge to kind of frame it might be really pretty. Just like I do if I'm painting. Sometimes I do this on a card or a mixed media piece, ATCs, things like that. Trying to be careful not to overdo it, because I do like kind of a messy edge, but I want to keep this really pretty and classy. I'm going to grab a thin brush and put some on there and just kind of finish it up right around here. So I like it. So we'll let this dry while we work on this. So we're kind of at the point where we can do our resin. I'm going to just take my little stir stick and just put some on top and bring it across my entire nightlight. Now this takes a little practice, so if you have never done this before, err on the side of less is more, because you don't want it running all over the place. So I just have a small amount. You guys saw what I put, just kind of a small amount, and I'm just kind of covering my piece. Is that a hole? No, it's not a hole. So I'll go ahead and kind of cover this whole thing up to where I've got it taped. And just like I do on my canvases, I'm bringing it to the edge, but not going over the edge. So if you are brand new to resin, tape the back of your nightlight. Just like we did this, you would tape the back so that if you get too much and it goes over, it will stick onto that tape, and then when you pull the tape off, the drips come off. But I am just bringing it to the edge, but not letting it go over. Okay. And then I'm going to use my little butane torch to pop all these bubbles. Oh, this one's different. This one doesn't want to sit on here. So I will have to, that might work. Needs to be level. So I'm going to turn this on to the low flame. I don't want a big shooting flame. I just want a little low flame. Turn it to the on and then pop these bubbles. Do it a couple of times till you get them popped. Yeah, see, that's going to be a little too high, so I'm going to have to find something else to put this on. And you'd be surprised, sometimes you just see, that might be perfect right there. So just kind of look around and see what you have that's the right height. And it's probably better to do that before before you do it. I think that might even be better. So if this is what we're using, and we know we wanted to use these on this one, just kind of get out assortment here. I think I'm going to put this just a little bit to one side. That's just what I do. I hardly ever put anything directly in the middle. Somebody's walking through our yard. Have a toothpick. Always have a toothpick out, or, you know, a little stick, something that you can move things around with. That will really help too. So, actually, I think this actually looks kind of good in the middle, so I'm going to move it and let it be in the middle. I usually don't, like on my canvases, but I think this one's okay. So let's see. Mary, if you haven't made these yet, these would sell for you really well at the little store that you have that you put them in. And then I have just an assortment of large and small beads to put. And just a few different colors. And if I want more beads, I just need to push out the petals a little further. Ooh, it would be cute in a nursery theme. Yeah, you can do any theme whatsoever, like anything you can think of. Christmas, holiday. I've done lots of beach ones, and I mean, you could just, especially if it's somebody that you're making them for, like a family member, change them out for the season even. But if you're selling them, I would just do seasonal for sure. I mean, I can add more petals. I'm kind of thinking about it. I think I am. I will say on something like this, have your supplies out and ready, and that helps you because you don't have time to put it down and go find what you know. So I usually try to have everything sitting right around me. I'm going to get one more dark one because we've got a really pretty, kind of variety. But I do see we've got two, and that will bother me. So I'm going to take one and I'll clean that and put it back, and then I'm going to use a brown one. Or it's kind of more tinted brown. That way we've got an odd number. Then it's just a matter, once you get the petals how you want it, then we'll add just a little more resin and let it dry, let it cure. It will cure for 24 hours for what's called a soft cure, and 72 hours for it to be completely finished and final. Although things that are small like this will not need to take quite that long, because obviously we're not using much resin, it's very thin. And I do on these like to kind of go ahead and go over. Brenda, that popped up. I just saw it pop up. Thank you so much. I wondered what happened because it flashed in my peripheral. That is so sweet. I appreciate you guys so much. Does anybody have me on their TV? I love that you can put YouTube on TV and see it up close. So there's that. We're going to pop our bubbles again. Just quickly, don't overdo it. Do a couple of passes, and then we'll just set this aside while we're doing our other one. And I think we decided just a few in the centers on this. So you can just kind of see I'm taking a heaping spoon of it and a couple of those, and I kind of look and see, and then I can tell usually. I'm going to put 3 on this size. Yes. Oh, good. I'm glad. Oh, a gold edge would have been pretty. We can definitely do that at the end, like once it's cured. That would have been pretty. Good thinking. And bring it to the edges. Yes, I did forget to tell you guys that if you're new to resin, you absolutely want to take the back of your plastic part because it will run over until you get the hang of it. And that is just something that happens with time and practice. Oh, this was the perfect amount. Like I said, it's usually about 1/4 of an ounce for each little nightlight is all it takes. So it's pretty cost effective. For, you know, resin can get expensive, but if you're doing little things, obviously it's not bad. Okay, now let's put a few bubbles, a few beads. I pulled pink and yellow. You can use whatever you want or have. These are just little glass beads. Oh my gosh, I love this. I want to keep it. I might just keep it. Oh, that's so cute. Let me hold these up where y'all can see a little better. I don't know if it helps to have. And I do see a little spot. Let me see if y'all can see that. Right here on this edge that I didn't get quite enough resin to. And what I'll do is I'll set this on a level surface. I've got a level. You definitely need a level to be sure that your desk is level, and you want whatever you're setting it on to be at a level height. And I know that this one is. I'll check this one with an empty nightlight in a minute, but I think that's going to be good. And for the first about 30 minutes, I will kind of watch it. I call it babysit, where I'll come back and see how I'm moving these little petals, because sometimes, and especially if I don't have it level, things will move. So I'll be sure this is level, because I definitely don't want it to. I want it to turn out well. And if it's not level, you will have too much resin on one side and not enough on the other. So I'll be sure this is on a level surface, level something that will keep it up. And then I'll babysit the petals and be sure they don't move. After about 30 minutes, they will not move. The resin will be to the point where it will not harden. I mean, it will not let them move. It'll start getting hard. Sometimes words are hard. When you're using your heat gun, or your butane torch, just keep it moving. Don't let it sit in one place too long. And I really hate not using all my resin, so I'm just putting enough that I know it won't run over. And like right here, just kind of evening that out. And when you use your butane torches, you can see the resin kind of got a little runny. So that's another reason you don't want to use it too much. It's going to be pretty too. They're just totally different, but I like both. Which one is y'all's favorite? Let me know. Oh, this one's mine. I just love the colors. That's my colors. All right, that is it. Let me see if y'all have any questions. Have your phone. Very pretty. Oh, good. Sunflower. Yes, I'm going to be sure it's level. I don't think it is on that, but I'll make sure it's level, and then it will stop moving. All right, guys. Thank y'all for being here live. I appreciate it. If you watch the replay, please leave me a comment. Let me know you are here. It's always nice to see who came. And you can do birth month. So if you have a special flower for your birth month, you know, you could do that. There's just so many ideas. And I will give the VIP group, give me a little bit, and I'll put a supply list in the group and a little tracer if you want to actually do this. But honestly, it's so easy, you don't really even need one. Just remember, it's a rectangle and some circles and then little football shapes. So that makes it easy. All right, guys, have a wonderful evening. I will see you later this week. Be watching, or you can look at my website for the schedule and all the things. Have a great evening.